All right. Hello there, everyone. Welcome to a very special stream on this, the 20th of January, 2026. Sorry for the delay. Part of the reason this is late is because Nintendo decided to take an extra month. Hey, Doc. Nintendo decided to take an extra month to tell me what fucking video games I played last year. And also I'm a lazy sack of shit. So, at least we're here. First of all, Pickles, Doc, thanks for showing up. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for telling me about radioactive snow holes. But anyway, what we're really here to do today is talk about video games. Past video games that I played that you may or may not have seen me play. Actually, I think very few of the games on this list I streamed, but that's not my problem. It's yours. Go play video games. Is the Rudolph game on? Pickles, these are the best video games of the year. Obviously, Rudolph is on the list. So, this is, and I can't believe it, our third annual Games Played on Video Awards. That's mine. I'm going to copyright that so nobody can steal it. It's a great name. The GPOVAs, as they're going to soon be called, the world over. And of course, I didn't throw this together in like 20 minutes an hour ago. So, why don't we just go ahead and jump right into it? Oh, fuck. Okay, you can't see my cursor. That's nice. So, we're going to start things off a little differently from last year. I'm going to tell you about some of the games that I played and then dropped. You saw me do this to at least one game. The first Berserker Kazan. You know me. I love Souls-likes and I love Ben Starr, and this has both of them. But for some reason, I just kind of bounced off of it. Maybe it was, I'm going to be honest, I really don't like level-based Souls-likes. Demon Souls is fine, but I prefer Dark Souls. I prefer a big open world. Nioh is also fine, but I don't like the level-based, hey, we're going to shoot you in for a bit and then spit you back out. I prefer a big open world. That's how Souls started for me, and that's how I want it to continue. You want to hear my thoughts on Everhood 2? Don't you worry, we'll get there. But I tried to pick Kazan back up, and maybe I'll finish it this year, but not on stream. So if you're one of the 3 people that was looking forward to me streaming the rest of that game, I'm sorry. You can go download the Ben Starr with boobs, like, official DLC yourself. The next game, Card and Seal, is it's a fun game. I'm trying to get back into it, much like Kazan. Imagine if Slay the Spire was more anime and was made by the Gunvolt people, and you like walked around the areas a little bit. It's interesting. It's a card game, card game. It's got a grid. It's like if Slay the Spire and Mega Man Battle Network, which I'm just now getting into, had a baby. And I really, and maybe this is more of a me problem than a problem with the game. You're in like this zone, this level, and you have to kill the boss in order to go to the next level. And you explore the area and fight enemies, but you could skip most of those enemies. And because you can, that's what I want to do. And that just kind of makes it less fun. And again, that's my fault for doing that thing that I don't have to do, but I want to. Because also doing those fights is a little tedious and I hate them. So it's weird. It's a game that I like playing, and I like not playing the game. It's like one of my favorite parts of the game. If you like Slay the Spire and anime, check it out. Everhood 2 is... There's a lot of these games on here that I may go back to. Everhood 2 is another one I tried to go back to a couple of weeks ago. It's not bad. I don't know if I can say it's worse than Everhood 1. The story's definitely worse, but that's because the story's just kind of fucking all over the place. The gameplay, the gameplay's better than Everhood 1, except for the part where like everything has a shit zillion health and you pretty much start the game with the ability to attack. Spoilers for Everhood 1, but whatever, you're here for spoilers. It's a really neat rhythm game with some cool animation and good music, and the story kind of sucks more than the first one, and the gameplay is better but also worse. And it's just, there's too many things. I eventually said, you know what, I've got bigger fish to fry. We'll skip that other one for now. Monster Train 2, Blizzard, if you're out there, thank you very much for the gift, and I'm sorry. Monster Train 2 is a game that you can play if you really, 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 really want to play Slay the Spire, and Slay the Spire isn't out yet. And that's what I tried to do, and it's just not the same. I struggle to say that it's better than Monster Train 1, which is also the problem. There's more stuff in Monster Train 2. There's new stuff in Monster Train 2. There's a couple of changes to the inherent gameplay of Monster Train 2 that make it a little bit better. But every single fucking character sucks. They just feel bad to play. And I just want to play Slay the Spire, and every second I'm playing Monster Train 2, I'm thinking about how I'm not playing Slay the Spire 2, and it hurts me. And then I stop playing. It's weird. I like it, but I wish it was Slay the Spire, and it's not, and it never will be. Sonic X Shadow Generations is the first one on here that I don't have any qualms about saying I'm never going back to this. You've heard me say this before, and if you haven't, then boy, are you in for a surprise. I don't like Shadow the Hedgehog. I think he's rude to his host family. That's a joke for literally one of you, and he's currently at work. I never gave a shit about Shadow the Hedgehog. I stopped caring about Sonic the Hedgehog. Yes, my wife loves Shadow the Hedgehog, and I think the dichotomy of our Shadow the Hedgehog opinions is what keeps this marriage strong and on its toes. I stopped liking Sonic when he went to 3D. Sonic has almost never been good in 3D. Sonic Generations is when Sonic was good in 3D. And the new Shadow content in Sonic X Shadow Cross Fic Generations is good. It's really well made. I just don't fucking want to play it because it's Shadow the Hedgehog, and I don't like or care about Shadow the Hedgehog. It's fine. It's a good game. It's a great game if you love Shadow the Hedgehog. I just don't and am not. We'll leave Hades 2 for the end because it's crossed out. Mario Kart World is a game that's very easy to put down because Mario Kart World hates you and doesn't want you to play it. It's a game that came with my Switch 2, and if I had to pay $80 for Mario Kart World, I would not have played Mario Kart World. It is not worth $80. It's barely worth $50 if I'm honest. So I am one of those crazy people that bought Mario Kart 11 on the Wii U. And when it came out on Switch, I was like, why the fuck would I buy it on Switch? I already bought it once on Wii U. It's the same fucking game. And then it proceeded to have like 11 billion characters and tracks added as DLC. And my stance was still, I already bought this game. I'm not buying it again. So Mario Kart World was literally the first Mario Kart that I bought since the Wii U. It's been a fucking minute. And it's a Mario Kart. You kart Marios. Unfortunately, they made it bad on purpose. Maybe as a joke. The tracks in the game, the characters, they look great, they are great, except for the tracks that are just straight lines. Those suck. Those all suck. Every single one of them sucks. If it had just been all tracks and no weird filler stages, maybe it would have been fine, but those suck. And the open world that this thing was like kind of heavy-handedly advertising is dog shit. It's completely empty. There's nothing in it. There's almost nothing to do, and there's almost nothing to get. It's really pretty. It's a fun little sandbox to drive around in. And then you get bored and want to play a video game, and you go play something like Hades 2. It's fine. As a kart game, it's fine. I am not equipped to properly rate Mario Kart games other than to tell you that Double Dash is the best one ever made, and every other Mario Kart before and since has been dog shit in comparison. So it's one of those. Anyway, the last thing on the list, which is crossed out, is Hades 2. Hades 2, I love Hades 1. I beat the shit out of Hades 1. I bought that game in early access. I played the shit out of it when it was in early access, and I almost burned the fuck out on Hades 1 before it even released because I played so much Hades 1. And that taught me a valuable lesson about early access, and it was to not buy games in early access and not play games in early access. So then Hades 2 came out and in early access, and I didn't buy it. I didn't play it. I didn't do shit. I waited and 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 waited, and then it finally came out. And then I finally bought Hades 2, and I played it, and I was like, this kind of sucks. It's not a bad game. Hades 2 is a really good game, and there's a reason that's crossed out on this list, and I'll get back to that. The story is very mysterious for a long time, which I was a little angry about. I was like, hey, can you give me more than nothing? And it's like, no, you got to beat the boss before you get more than nothing. And that took me a while. And also, all of the weapons in this game, even now, I'm pretty confident in saying, are worse than the weapons in Hades 1. Every single fucking one of them is patently worse in one way or another. There's some interesting new tech they have in the game. There's a new type of magic system. You have a mana bar where you can do special mana attacks, and half the time those suck. There are ways to make that better, and as you progress in the game, you get meta progression and you can make those things better. But at the start, they suck, and even later on, they don't feel good. So all of that combined to me just kind of putting down Hades 2 and being like, yeah, you know what? I'll play this again later. And then a couple weeks ago, I decided, you know what? It's time to play Hades 2. And I got back into it, and I started not just grabbing all of the new shit and started making actual builds that had synergy. And I ended up having a much better time. And I've beaten the final boss a couple times. I'm not done with the game. If you've played Hades, you know what that means. Exactly, Pickles. It's very much a transition from a berserker to a witch. There's a lot more focus on magic in many different ways. But it even like you've got like straight up melee weapons. You've got a giant axe. You've got a sword and a knife, and all of them feel worse than Zagreus's. He just feels better to control. But I'm starting to learn the ins and outs of how Melenui plays and finding weapons that I like and builds that I like. And I'm having a good time. I've been playing that a lot this week. So I will finish this game. I probably won't stream it. But I dropped it for most of 2025. I played it a little bit and then just dropped it for other things. So it's coming back, but in 2025, I just kind of dropped it. So we're just going to get straight into the top 10 proper. Number 10 game that I played last year is Ooh. I'm not entirely sure if that's how you pronounce it, but that's how it looks like it's pronounced. For those of you unaware, Ooh is I don't like this term and I'm never going to use it again, Metroidvania. It is a Metroidvania style game, and to be completely honest with you, it's barely one of those where you don't fight anything. It is 100% puzzles. It is, you are given an ability or a new ability or some sort of information that allows you to progress, and then you use that to progress, and you get to the next area, and you may or may not be giving anything other than information, and that information allows you to progress. You wear ass on head. So your character in Ooh is surprisingly not from Hot Topic, Doc, but it does totally look like something I would buy from Hot Topic circa 2009. You're a caterpillar. You look like the title of the game, Ooh, and your little butt pieces are bombs. And the only thing you can do is place bomb and explode bomb. And based on how you place bomb and explode bomb, you can do things like get over spikes or destroy walls or all sorts of things that I don't want to spoil because it's a puzzle game and that's kind of the whole point. But it's really cool. If you like puzzle games, if you like puzzle platformers, check it out. I think you'll like Ooh. Speaking of puzzle games, Blueprints, number 9. This was a lot of people's number 1 game of the year, and it might have been higher on the list if not for a massive bug that I ran into and have bitched about all year, and will continue to bitch about probably forever. But for the uninitiated, Blueprints is a game where you are a young man who's inherited his grandfather, granduncle's, grand-something's house, and you need to find the secret magic hidden room. And to do that, you need to kind of play Slay the Spire, but instead of killing monsters, you're building a house. It plays better than it sounds, I swear. It's a really interesting, unique design for a puzzle game where there are different rooms that you're drafting, so you don't always have access to the same rooms. You're not always able to take the same path through the game. And because of that, you need to constantly adapt. You have meta objectives that you're trying to complete in order to finish this game. And like you're saying, Pickles, sometimes you can get cock blocked. Sometimes you can not get the rooms that you need and you just can't do that thing that you wanted to do. And I think a big differentiator on whether or not you enjoy Blueprints is whether or not you're able to have multiple objectives ready in your brain to be like, okay, if I can't do this, then I can pivot to this. And if I can't do this, I can pivot to this. And if I get totally fucked, then I'm totally fucked and I just have to start over. The thing with Blueprints is that if you just keep playing, even though you can't do exactly the thing you want, you are very, very, very likely to find something brand new that you've never seen or done before. And that can lead to a new thing that you're going to want to do. So I think your ability to remain open and not pigeonhole and tunnel vision yourself into one very specific thing 100% determines your enjoyment of Blueprints. I was able to do that. I was able to always have multiple objectives in mind, and I very, very, very rarely ever felt that I was cock-blocked, that I was completely unable to do the thing I wanted to do. I may not have been able to do one of the things I wanted to do, but I had other things that I can do. And getting the quote-unquote first ending or regular ending or whatever for Blueprints, depending on who you ask, took me way too long or like way too short. My friend beat it almost twice as fast as me because he's fucking insane. But it was a fantastic time and I loved it and I had a great time. And then there's another layer of puzzles that lead to another ending, and I did that. And then there's a third layer of puzzles that lead to another ending, and I was really close to getting that. And then I ran into the bug on PlayStation 5 where if you play the game long enough, about 100 or so in-game days, your save file stops working. It just stops saving. So you can keep playing in a single sitting, but once you turn the game off, your save goes back to wherever the fuck the game decided to stop saving. So that absolutely annihilated my progress and my desire to play Blueprints ever again. That bug, I believe, was only on PlayStation, and it was on PlayStation for fucking weeks. It's since been patched, but I don't care anymore. I've done just about everything that I care to do in Blueprints, and I don't feel like going back for what I missed. And that feeling, while not entirely fair because it's not 100% the game's fault, is still kind of the game's fault, and that's why it's number 9 on the list. Great game with a fucking massive bug that absolutely ruined my enjoyment. You get it, Doc? Is it because you're a blue boy who is building a house out of blueprints? Number 8, Monster Hunter. Yeah, you got it, Doc. Monster Hunter Wilds. If you know me, you might be wondering why the fuck this game is so low on my list. I fucking love Monster Hunter. I've been playing Monster Hunter not my entire life. I started with 4, but that was forever ago. I want to say that was like late high school, college when Monster Hunter 4 came out. And ever since then, I've been obsessed with it. I have been playing every single Monster Hunter for hundreds of hours, this one included. Monster Hunter Wild is a great game. It's a fine Monster Hunter. I don't want to say it's the worst Monster Hunter. That's patently not true. It might be the worst Monster Hunter in a while for a bunch of different reasons. Number one being the game just kind of runs like shit. This is the first Monster Hunter that uses the RE engine, the Resident Evil engine, and I feel like it shows. Monster Hunter World didn't run that good when it first released. I'll be completely honest with you. A lot of you may not remember that. I don't blame you if you don't. But this game somehow managed to run worse, and that was definitely a big, annoying inconvenience when it first came out. It has one of the smallest rosters of monsters in a Monster Hunter game, possibly ever. I'm not going to look up the exact numbers, but it's very small. And that feels bad in a game that's all about the variety of monsters you're killing. It feels like they've been a bit slow to update and add monsters. I'm not going to go and do the numbers. I'm not going to tally it up and see exactly how fast they are adding monsters compared to previous versions, but it feels like it's not enough. The end game has, for Monster Hunter Wilds, has kind of always been, hey, there's like 1, maybe 2 monsters you need to hunt, and that's it. It's not like Monster Hunter World, which was technically 2 Monster Hunters ago, where you had a bunch of Elder Dragons, so you usually had like 4 to pick from. It's been kind of pigeonholed. And despite all that, it's still really, 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 really fun to play. I enjoy playing Monster Hunter. I enjoy putting hundreds of hours into Monster Hunter hunting monsters, killing my babies and wearing their skin like a raincoat and making a knife out of their bones. It's fun. I enjoy it. There's just a bunch of other shit that has made me not enjoy it as much. And that sucks. Also, the monetization is fucking horrendous, and there is just a metric fuck ton of paid DLC that shouldn't be paid. And also Wyvern Milk. Fucking... We made a Japanese pun, and we didn't want to transliterate that in a meaningful way, so you get Wyvern Milk. Anyway, number 7, Ball... So, the creator of this game says that it is pronounced Ball Pit. Much like Hunter x Hunter, you don't pronounce the X. And much like the guy who invented the GIF, I don't give a fuck about your opinion. I'm calling it Ball X Pit. So, Ball X Pit is a game that is really hard to find a picture of that doesn't have the big Game Awards nominee thing in it, that also is a decent resolution. So that's why that's sitting there. Anyway, Ball X Pit is a game like Arkanoid or a game like Breakout, where there are balls and they start at the bottom of the screen and they go to the top of the screen and they hit stuff at the top of the screen and sometimes it disappears. And that's pretty fucking rad. It's a lot of things. It's like Pong, it's like Arkanoid, it's like all that stuff that I said. There's a roguelike element to it. You are using different characters that have wildly different abilities. Some of them shoot the balls from the bottom. Some of them shoot the balls from the top. Some of them literally throw the balls. There's a character that turns this game into a turn-based RPG. It is insane, the different variations of ball and pit that they have managed to squeeze into this ball and pit. On top of that, there's randomly generated loot that you can pick up that will augment your character, your balls. There are different balls that you can get. Those balls can combine into other balls. If you've ever played Vampire Survivors, you know the kind of shit I'm talking about. On top of that, it's got a little town building mechanic, which at first I fucking hated. And as I did it more, I kind of love it. And guess what? You do the Arkanoid fucking breakout thing in the town too. It's balls and pits all the way down. It's a game I wasn't expecting to get like super addicted to and ended up getting super addicted to. I think I hit credits. I haven't like beaten the game with all the characters, and that might unlock like another layer of stuff. I'm at a point in my life where I think I've had enough ball pit for one life, but I enjoyed every single second of it, and I might go back to it this year. Who can say? I've done I remember doing multiple addict streams because I was just fucking addicted to ball pit and I wanted to play more Ball X Pit. So that alone should be proof that it's one of my favorite games of the year. I think this is the most you've ever had to say ball in the span of 3 minutes. Well, we'll have to put that on the list for things to do this year better. Ball. Number 6, Like a Dragon, Pirate Yakuza in Hawaii. So this is a game that I did not stream. This is a game I didn't really talk about. I probably did, back in like March when I played it. So I am not the biggest fan of the Yakuza series. I really only started playing Yakuza with Yakuza 7. With Like a Dragon, the JRPG, the turn-based JRPG that is completely different from any other Yakuza game. I know you have beef with this one, Pickles. I'm sorry. I don't have that same connection that you do. Your words and opinions are valid, and I read them in your post. But I just don't have... We do not have the same feelings. I recognize that there's some weird, dumb, occasionally bad shit in this game. But like I was saying, I started Yakuza with 7, and I like the turn-based JRPG. I have seen regular Yakuza before this. I had never played it, and I wasn't super impressed with it. So I haven't played any previous Yakuza. I'm going to be honest, I don't plan on it. I don't plan on playing 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or 6, or any of those fucking offshoots. I know the story is amazing. I know Kiryu's great. I know it's got all sorts of... I don't fucking care. Their life is too short to go back and play fucking 2 decades of Yakuza games. I've got other shit I want to play. Like Pirate Yakuza in Hawaii. So the reason we got this game is my wife likes Majima a decent amount. And so she wanted to play it. And we were in Japan last year in February, and they had the game. And because exchange rates are exchange rates, we were able to get this brand new video game for $20, $30 off what it would cost in America. And because PlayStation thankfully doesn't suck that much, the game is like region free. It's not region locked as most PlayStation games are. So we were able to take our Japanese copy of Pirate Yakuza, put it into an American PlayStation 5. Game boots up, even boots in English. My wife played in Japanese. I played in English. We have strong differences that I feel increase our cohesion, like our opinions on Shadow the Hedgehog. But this is the first Yakuza game I'd ever played that was an action game. You play as Majima. He is a pirate, kinda, and he goes and fights dudes, kinda. You have swords. Sometimes you have your fist. Most of the time you have swords. You have guns sometimes. And you just fucking kill scores and scores and scores of mostly white but occasionally Japanese men. And when you're done doing that, you sail a fucking boat across the Hawaiian seas, I guess. I'm not, it takes place in Hawaii, but also not. Don't worry about it. But I had a lot of fun playing it. The story was interesting. It wasn't fucking Shakespeare like Star Trek, but it was interesting. There were some characters that I started off hating that I ended up really liking and enjoying and respecting, despite my initial hatred. And you know what? You want to talk about getting bang for your buck? I think I got at least 100 hours out of this game, maybe 120. I got a lot of time out of Pirate Yakuza that I didn't think I'd get. Has this changed my opinion on older Yakuza? And am I going to go back and play Yakuza 0 and 2? And no, I'm not. That just, no. I'm good. I'll wait for the next turn-based one with Ichiban. Ichiban's my boy. I don't give a fuck about Kiryu. Majima's all right. I don't care one way or the other. But anyway, it's a good game. It's a fine video game. We're going to take a break real quick from our top 10 before we get into the top 5. We're going to talk about the best old games that I played in 2025. What I mean by old is games that did not come out in 2025. Yes, one of these games came out in 25, but no, it actually came out in 1999. So the first one, actually, technically, I started playing this like the end of 2024 and the very beginning of 2025, is Pentiment. And this is one that I'm not going to spoil because there's a person in this audience that I really, 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 really want to play Pentiment. I don't want to oversell Pentiment. Pentiment literally changed my fucking life. It is some of the best storytelling I have ever seen in any form of media ever. And again, not trying to oversell it. When I first heard about Pentiment, when I first heard, hey, you're a dude in 15th century Germany writing pictures for a fucking old monastery Bible guy, I thought that sounded like the dumbest fucking thing anyone could possibly do. That sounded incredibly boring. Nobody bothered to tell me that it's also a murder mystery, so that helped. But even beyond learning that it's a murder mystery, it's still an incredibly profound game. Again, I don't want to oversell it, but this game is fucking life-changing. It gave me emotions few things in this world have not given me. Have given me. Sorry, I'm losing my words. I can't. I'm still thinking about Pentiment. I'm still thinking about the choices, the things that unfolded and the choices that I made and what I could have done differently and what it all means to me personally. And it has become a very important game to me. And I think that you all should play Pentiment. Please play Pentiment. It's very good. Another game that I really like, though not as profoundly as Pentiment, is Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown. This was a game that I had heard about before it released. I said, hey, that looks pretty cool. I like sort of Metroidvania. I like Prince of Persia. I'll give it a shot. And then it came out and there was a bunch of video games, so I didn't play it. But early 2025, maybe like after I got back from Japan, March, April, I had PlayStation Plus and it was on PlayStation Plus. So I was like, all right, fine. I'll play Prince of Persia. And it's fantastic. It's one of the best Metroid. I guess, I hate Metroidvania, but it is the word Metroidvania, not the game. it's one of the best Metroidvania games that doesn't have a ranged attack I think I've ever played. I feel like being able to shoot in a Metroidvania changes the gameplay considerably. I feel like I prefer ones that let you shoot more, because I like Metroid. But this game is great. The story starts off not super interesting. It gets better later on. It's Prince of Persia. You can probably guess what it's about. But the gameplay, the combat is super fun. The boss fights are actually a lot of fun. And there's a few that actually gave me some trouble where most of the game was kind of easy. There's some interesting abilities and upgrades that you unlock. It's not just your typical fucking double jump and morph ball mode and this is a key that unlocks this door. You get some actually unique unlocks in this game. So if you like Prince of Persia, if you like side-scrolling Metroidvanias, I highly recommend it. Check it out. And then the last game that did release in 2025, but is also a game from 1999, is Final Fantasy Tactics: The Ivalice Chronicles. I've talked about this before. Final Fantasy Tactics is a game that I bought in 1999 as a 9-year-old boy, and I played it, and I fucking hated it. I absolutely hated the tactics combat. I hated the grid. I fucking hated that there were characters in my party that I could not command who would do their own thing. And if they died, it was my fault and I lost. It was fucking brutal. And I played a good amount of that game as a 9-year-old. I got to one of the big fights. I forget exactly which one, but there's one of the first notoriously difficult fights, and I got walled, and I said, all right, fuck this game forever. Sold it to fucking GameStop or Game Crazy at some point, never looked back. But since 1999, I have had myriad people tell me that Final Fantasy Tactics is amazing and transcendent, and their favorite game, their favorite Final Fantasy, or their favorite video game ever made. And it got to the point where I was like, all right, maybe 9-year-old me didn't quite see the vision. Maybe I'll give it another shot. And the PSP version has fucking problems, and the PS1 version has, it's not perfect. So when they announced this remaster, remake, re-release, whatever, I decided, all right, I'll give this thing a fucking shot again. And it's still got some problems. It's got some shit I don't like. The remaster version cleans some of that up. There's actually a lot of quality of life improvements in this version that I think may have been the deciding factor in whether or not I actually gave this game another chance. But it helps considerably. The voice acting is fantastic. Ben stars in it again. The quality of life is great. And I sure as hell didn't understand the story as a 9-year-old. I understand it a lot more now. And it's a really compelling, interesting story. It's I don't want to say wholly unique to the world of Final Fantasy, but it gets more into the nitty gritty of what the fuck class dissociation is than more than any other fucking Final Fantasy game, I feel. So if you're feeling particularly aggressive towards the bourgeoisie, check out Final Fantasy Tactics. Also, Ultima at the end has a fucking nice ass. Anyway, number 5 is Donkey Kong Bonanza. Oh, this is old art because it doesn't have... This was another one that was hard to find, like, decent art that had the name of the fucking game on it. This one clearly is old because it doesn't have Pauline. It's got the little rock that Pauline starts as for no fucking reason. Donkey Kong Bonanza is a fantastic video game. If you have a Nintendo Switch 2, you should already have Donkey Kong Bonanza, and if for some fucking reason you don't, go buy Donkey Kong Bonanza. This is the better version, my boy Odd Rock. Odd Rock is fun, but I'm not I'm not particularly. I don't care one way or the other if it's a little girl or a little rock. Um, the Pauline angle was weird, but we're not going to talk about how weird things are. You have limited time and income. It's on the list. You need to already have it and be playing it, Pickles. I have decreed it so. But yeah, so for those of you that are unaware, Donkey Kong Bonanza is from the team that made Super Mario Odyssey, probably one of, if not the best Nintendo Switch games ever made. This is definitely that, but now you're a monkey. It's a big open world smash 'em up. You go and collect bananas, and you do that by doing various things, whether it's digging a hole or throwing a rock at a guy or making a bigger hole or filling in a hole or doing some platforming. There's objectives all over the place. Maybe a few too many, as you have seen in modern Mario games. Maybe we don't need 1,000 fucking bananas. But there's a lot of things to do, and it's good fun. It's not particularly difficult. That's one of my biggest complaints is the game is like kind of brain dead easy for 95% of the game. And then in the last level, it's like, hey, you've been paying attention, right? Because now it's fucking hard. I died to the final couple bosses multiple times. So it eventually gets hard. It just takes fucking forever to get there. I won't spoil the big reveal, even though I might have already. But if you like Donkey Kong Country, you definitely want to play this one to the end. And if you like Mario Odyssey, then you definitely want to play this one. It's if you have a Switch 2, I don't need to fucking tell you this because you already have Donkey Kong Bonanza, unless your name is Pickles, apparently. Number 4, because this is my fucking show and I make the rules, we're putting Deltarune on here, baby. There's been a lot of video game award shows this past year, and you may have noticed a stark, almost emblematic, I'm just picking fucking words out of my ass now. Deltarune's not on a lot of those lists because it's technically not done. And that is true. It is technically not done. You know that I killed the water cooler? Yeah, and I do it again too. But the newest chapters of Deltarune, chapters 3 and 4, came out in the year of our Lord 2025. And that's enough for me to say, put it on the list, motherfuckers. If you know me, you know I like Undertale. You know I love Deltarune. I definitely think I like Deltarune more, especially now that we have more than a couple hours of it. These new chapters are, Toby Fox just keeps adding more, and what you think he's done, you think he's peaked at Spampton, and then he invents fucking Mr. Antenna, and the whole world gets set on fire again. It's a fantastic game. It's a fantastic pair of chapters. If you already like Deltarune, guess what? You're going to like more Deltarune. And I am very excited for the impending chapters and the eventual conclusion of this story. I shouldn't have to fucking tell you what Deltarune is. You know what Deltarune is, and you know if you like it or not. So fucking go play it. Play it twice. I did the weird route, the horrible force people to do things route on stream. It was uncomfortable, but not a lot of people see that kind of shit. Number 3 is another game that I streamed, this one in its entirety. It's Clair Obscur Expedition 33. For those of you that don't speak French, I took 3 years in high school. I remember almost none of it. 33 is about the extent of my knowledge. Did you put this one as, so I'll be on, swear to God, Pickles, I didn't do it on purpose. It is genuinely my number 3 of the year. But then I saw that and I'm like, yeah, that makes sense. So I've streamed Expedition 33. If you want, you can go and watch those streams on youtube.com/papastrel. It's a fantastic game. It's one of the best JRPGs Of the year, no doubt. Ever made? Maybe. I could see a strong I could see the argument for it being one of the best JRPGs ever made. In France, no less. It is a world, a JRPG, as some people have called it, yes. It has a literally unparalleled art style and world and story. Believe it or not, it's not just go and kill God, even though it's still kind of just go and kill God. And despite its combat system having some connections to things like Mario RPG, it is wholly its own. It is a marriage of familiar mechanics in a box the likes of which has never been seen before, I feel. There has never been a game quite like Expedition 33, and I doubt there ever will be. It's very unfortunate, the AI usage and things that got into the conversation that make it less easy to recommend, but I will say that I had a fantastic time with it, and if you like JRPGs, I think you will too. And hell, if you like Devil May Cry, you also might like it. But it is wholeheartedly the strong number 3 of the year. Number 2, the 100-line Last Defense Academy. Let me check real quick. I might have uninstalled it, but... Okay, 100-line, and I fucking shit you not, is a video game that I spent 300 motherfucking hours completing this year. More than Monster Hunter, I believe, by close to if not 100 hours. If your video game purchasing habits are based solely on bang for buck, 100-line Last Defense Academy is a value you have never seen before and likely will never see again. I lost at least 2 straight months to this game. Every single day was get off of work, boot up 100-line, play as much 100-line as I could, go to sleep, wake up, go to work, get off work, do it again. Hours and hours and hours and hours of my life. Oh, we're not done yet, Doc. Maybe abiotic factors in the top slot. Who can say? But 100-line Last Defense Academy is a visual novel from 2 of my favorite, because they're kind of the only visual novel creators that I know, Kodaka and the other guy whose name I forget, the Danganronpa guy and the fucking Zero Escape guy. 2 games I absolutely love. 2 series I absolutely adore. Coming together to make this brand new thing that is very similar to their Uchikoshi. Thank you, Pickles. Uchikoshi. How could I forget the AI Somnium himself? 2 powerhouses of the visual novel industry coming together to make this fucking massive behemoth of a game. And it is everything those men have ever made before and more. It is the video game. It is the visual novel. If ever there was a visual novel, this is it. This is all of them and forever. Like I said, like 300 fucking hours worth of content. Now, a lot of that is reading and listening to characters talk, but there is also a video game here, more so than these men have ever done before. There's a very decent tactical RPG in here. You do fights. You have a tactical grid with turns and attacks and super attacks that are pretty busted if you're the protagonist and you're in the post game. But it is a genuinely good story, and it is a genuinely good game. I I didn't play it on the hardest difficulty because I'm not a fucking masochist, but I felt like normal was a little too easy for people who actually play video games. I imagine for someone who only plays visual novels, it was actually pretty difficult. I feel like they might have added an even easier difficulty, which is really funny. But every single character you see on screen, and even more that you don't, have just myriad backstory, myriad characterization. Literally 100 of stories are told within the confines of a single video game that costs like 40 American dollars. You will not find a better value on this or any planet. It's phenomenal. It took, like I said, 300 hours, months of my time, months of my life, and I enjoyed every single second, and I'd do it again if they made another. Now, if you've been watching, not just this stream, but my previous streams, you may have noticed a very odd omission from the list thus far. And you may be wondering, Papa, there's only one game left. What could possibly be your number one? I think I know, but it's kind of crazy that you haven't brought it up yet today. And you're right. It is crazy that I haven't brought it up yet today. That's because I've been trying to save it and to make it a surprise for the two of you who haven't been listening before. But I think it's time to throw away our preconceived notions of what a video game could be and think about what a video game truly is. And what a video game, not just a video game, but the video game of 2025 is undoubtedly Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. This is a classic family movie remade for the PlayStation 4, Nintendo Switch, Xbox, maybe PC. It has it all. It's got reindeers. It's got ornaments. It's got god-awful animation. It's got some of the most horrific looking shit you've ever seen. I mean, it's got 6-ish reindeer. So yeah, Pickles, you kind of called it at the beginning. Good job. Yeah, no, Rudolph fucking sucks. It is hands down the worst game of 2025. Unquestionably. Absolute dog shit. I paid half price for this game, and that was still too goddamn much. Anyway, number one is Silksong. Thank you. Good night. I almost clicked the fucking end stream button. I was this goddamn close. Yeah, I've been saying it for fucking months, since September, since whenever the fuck Silksong came out. It feels like Silksong has been with me for both a single moment and also for the entirety of my life. It feels like the game that I always wanted and the game that I never knew I wanted. Silksong is fantastic. It is the game of the year. It's phenomenal. There, to me, has never been a sequel to a game that I feel so completely and totally and utterly eclipses the original quite like Silksong. And that might be a little bit of a hot take. I know there are some people out there that say that they like Hollow Knight more, that they feel that Silksong falters in ways that Hollow Knight doesn't. And that's a cool opinion, but this is my show, and here on my show, Silksong is literally better than Hollow Knight in every conceivable fashion. And it was worth every second of that 7-year wait. And now the wait is over, and you can go play the best video game of 2025 and quite possibly one of the best video games ever made. And those crazy Australian motherfuckers are going to give us more for free. It's insane. It's literally insane. I feel like I'm taking crazy pills. They're going to give us more for free. But but seriously, it's fantastic. The gameplay is absolutely phenomenal. The changes that they made to your healing and your movement compared to Hollow Knight are both thematically resonant and important, and they also help to make the game feel not just more challenging, but more rewarding for overcoming that challenge. And I have seen people say that this game is too hard, and it is much harder than Hollow Knight. If you start with Silksong, wow, that sorry, you may want to play the tutorial. It's called Hollow Knight. It's only a couple dozen hours. That's another one I've streamed, but it is. I'm running out of ways to say it's fantastic and amazing and transcendent and one of the best games of all time. I spent about 100 hours on Silksong, and it's not a 100-hour game. But as soon as I beat Silksong, the first thing I wanted to do was play more Silksong. And then after I beat Silksong, I wanted to play more Silksong. And then after I beat Silksong, I wanted to stream more Silksong. And right about now, at this very second, I kind of want to play more Silksong. It's great. It's the best game of 2025. I don't know what more I can say. Thank you. Thanks for coming to my TED Talk. Thanks for being here and listening to me ramble about video games for an hour. Yeah, that's I think that's about all I have to say today. I realize we're Soul Reaver rank. Hey, Punch Cactus, how you doing? You know what? Right here. Just paste over Rudolph with Soul Reaver, and it's right there. That's exactly where it deserves to be. But yeah, I had a fantastic time streaming video games last year, and I'm gonna keep doing it this year, whether you fuckers like it or not. I think actually, okay, I did. I wasn't sure if I thought I made this slide and then I forgot about it. Fake top of the list, you'll take it. Exactly. So there are some things that I'm looking forward to in 2026. Some of them are brand new games. Some of them are old games that I plan on streaming. The first and the next stream that I'm going to start is Van Helsing for PS2. Now that's Van Helsing based on the 2006 Hugh Jackman film. They made a video game. I played it in 2006. That's right, Punch Cactus. You familiar? It's kind of like a bad Devil May Cry, and we're gonna stream it. That's gonna be the next stream, starting probably tomorrow or Thursday. So look forward to that. After that is Metroid Prime 3. I played Metroid Prime 4 this year. I didn't talk about it much, and it's not on the list for a reason, but I did finish it. And the first thought I had when I finished Metroid Prime 4 is this might be the worst Metroid Prime game. This might be the worst Metroid game ever made. No, because Other M exists. This might be the worst Metroid Prime game ever made. But it's been 18 fucking years since Metroid Prime 3, so maybe I need to give that another look. And I think I have the means to do so, so that is going to be another stream after Van Helsing. Punch Cactus, you'll be very happy to know that Soul Reaver 2 is on the list. It's not necessarily this list is not really ordered except for Van Helsing and Metroid. But I do plan on playing Soul Reaver 2 this year, which I hear is more fun to play. I'll be the judge of that. But I I am genuinely looking forward to it. I was going to say see the end, and then I realized there's other games that we will not be seeing because they haven't been remade or anything like that. Chrono Trigger is one of my favorite video games. It's not something I played when I was young, like most Chrono Trigger lovers. It was a game that I didn't play until I was married and out of college. But I heard it was fantastic, and my wife gave it to me on the DS as like a birthday present, and it very quickly shot to the top of one of my favorite games list. And it's been long enough that I think I'm due for a replay. So I'm thinking about doing Chrono Trigger this year. I bought it on Steam during a sale like maybe years ago. So they fixed up that PC port so it's not as crap. So that's good. But yeah, if you like that, look forward to it. Resident Evil 9 Requiem is a new game that's coming out. It's coming out like end of next month. Really fucking soon. And I've been looking forward to that one for quite some time. I really liked Resident Evil 8 and Resident Evil 7 and Resident Evil 4 Remake. I got kind of cocked out of Resident Evil 4 streaming Resident Evil 4 Remake, mostly because I'm an idiot, but partially because the game didn't run super well. Hopefully that's not the case for 9, but as long as it, runs decently, which considering it's a Switch 2 game, I imagine it will, I'll be streaming that. Dynasty Warriors 3, believe it or not, is not going to be the old version. They're remaking it for some fucking reason. I guess the people over at Koei Tecmo heard old men like me talking about how Dynasty Warriors 3 is the best one ever made. So they're redoing that one. So I'm definitely gonna play it. I'll stream it at least once. I may not stream all of it because the story is like, I mean, if you want to learn Chinese history, as far as me, a white man knows, there's no better place to do it than inside a video game called Dynasty Warriors. So look forward to very real, very canonical Chinese history. Speaking of, yeah, no, you know what? I'm going to put that joke in my pocket and I'm not going to say it. Onimusha, Way of the Sword. It's a new Onimusha game. I streamed Onimusha 2 this year. I like Onimusha 2. Many people don't. Fuck those people. Onimusha, Way of the Sword looks very different and a lot of fun. I figured pickles. Yeah, I'm looking forward to Onimusha. They don't have an exact date, which is a bit scary, but they said this year, and Capcom wouldn't lie about things like that, right? Right? Anyway, Prince of Persia: Sands of Time Remaster is a video game that has been in development for most of my adult fucking life. If it comes out this year, I'll play it, but there's a very, 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 very good chance that game never sees the light of day. We'll see. Ubisoft is weird. Sands of Time was the first Prince of Persia I ever played. I played it when it came out in 2002, maybe? Long fucking time ago. And I have some fond memories of it. I really like to play that. And if it doesn't come out this year, then maybe we do a full playthrough of the best Prince of Persia Warrior Within. So there will be Prince of Persia. Let's put it that way. Slay the Spire 2. You heard me gush about Slay the Spire 2 when I talk shit about Monster Train 2. So that's coming into early access in like March. And I will break my early access rule for Slay the Spire. I need it. I need it yesterday. And I will play too much fucking Slay the Spire, and none of you can stop me. And then the last game that I know about that's releasing is Pragmata. That game was a lot of fun. There's a demo that came out not too long ago. You can download it and play it. It's free. It's a demo. And it's like, what if Resident Evil 4 required you to do Pipe Dream in order to shoot dudes? It sounds dumb as hell, and it kind of is, but it's a lot of fun. So, look forward to Pragmata. And thank fucking God they announced a new Mega Man game. Otherwise, people like me would not stop talking about how Pragmata is a stealth Mega Man game. And yeah. All right. Quit opera. That's a sentence I like saying. Yeah, I think that's going to do it for today. So I know I said it earlier, but again, thank you all for coming. Thank you for listening to me ramble about video games. Sorry it took 20 days into the new year to get the list out. I'm doing the much more annoying manual thing of every single day writing down the video games that I play. So this won't take that long next year. This year, I promise. But yeah, like I said, I've had a fantastic time streaming and playing new games and meeting new people. And I'm going to keep doing it. Whether you're there or not, I'll be here streaming. But I do hope you are here. And if you are, thank you. Say hi. And that's pretty much it. I don't have a better closer, so I'm going to see if we can raid somebody. Ooh, Bioshock? Yeah, sure. Let's raid Niall. It's a good day when I get to raid Niall. Go say hi to the very nice centipede lady. I got to click the button. And yeah. Like I said, stream again either tomorrow or Thursday. We'll see. Keep an eye out. Have a good one. Good night, everybody.